Hey everyone, Luke here, and this week I got for you all a familiar face. If you watched my last week's video, you may recognize this guy, as it's the same dog Zuzu. The client requested to have two different portraits of the same dog, and luckily they supplied me with ample reference photos to make for a second unique painting. As always, starting with the most sensitive areas, in this case the eyes. This is the most stressful part of any painting, and I like to get it out of the way early so I can loosen up and be a little bit more organic with the fur texture. Something you'll notice a lot in my recent videos is my attention to brushwork. I've made a lot of progress in the last year with deliberate brushwork, trying to make my best not to mix the paint on the painting. The only time you'll really see me work the paint on the painting itself is when I'm trying to soften the edges to make for a seamless transition on the fur. You see, painting alla prima, that is wet into wet, has a lot of opportunities to create interesting textures with your brushwork. The only issue is you typically only have one shot to get the right effect. You are free to wipe away at any time, and believe me, I absolutely do, but there's something about strategically planning out each brushstroke that really makes a unique connection with the painting. It's almost as each brushstroke has a risk attached to it, which has made me a lot more tentative to the painting process and care about each brushstroke I do. As I start to paint the background, you'll see I'll get very close to, in some cases, overlapping my sketch of where the fur would be. The reason why I do this is when you're painting alla prima, you can get this really nice soft transition from the fur to the background, and it, instead of having this sort of like hard edge cutout look. At this point is where the painting really starts getting exciting for me. There's almost always a sense of doubt in the process. No matter how many paintings I do, I'm always second guessing myself until I start to have some complete areas like here. The forms, values, and structure start to take place and really helps me get some momentum towards the rest of the painting. Your brush can do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to texture. And in areas like this, I sort of twirl the brush to try and capture this pet's shorter fur on his chest as opposed to the long, flowy brushwork on his head. The crown is always a unique challenge. Early on, I used to try and meticulously paint each ridge and highlight, and I would go insane trying to capture each little bit of detail. As of late, I've taken the same approach I do with fur. That is, block in the main values with big, blocky brushstrokes, and coming in afterwards with a smaller brush to capture just enough detail that the viewer can read that it's a crown, but not so much detail that it distracts from the pet's face. And as we start to get to the end of the painting here, we're just tying up some loose ends and putting some of the brightest values on here. These are definitely one of the most satisfying parts of the painting, as you're just starting to fill in those last areas of detail to really make the whole piece come together. And that's that, another painting in the books. If you made it this far in the video, don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button, as well as the little bell notification to get notified as soon as I drop a new video. I'd love to hear down in the comments what type of paintings you're working on this time of year. Are you doing paintings for a commission? Or if you're just doing something for yourself? I'd love to hear down in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and take care.